Hello, this is Scott Carpenter, and welcome to finally another episode of the Sasquatch Awareness Project. This is a little special edition. Finally getting back to the where I can actually do something. I've been traveling and working on fixing up my kitchen and everything, but I promised Steve Ishtal about a week ago now, mentioned my name in one of his videos about the Sasquatch DNA study and about Melba Ketchum and her doing a Dogman DNA study and trying to raise money for that. And I think it's a worthy cause, and if you can afford to or feel like you should, contribute, it's a decision everybody makes, but it's a worthy cause. And Steve, of course, I think he contributed $100, but he, as he often does, he'll mention my name about certain things, whether it be the DNA study or me being working with the Sasquatch Awareness Project and helping people. And I got a lot of a follow-up from that, people messaging me and a couple of emails saying, hey, Steve mentioned that, mentioned you, he said this, that, or the other thing, talking about the DNA study, or talking about the truth denied. So first of all, what he was talking about was the Sasquatch genome study. I wrote a book, this is it, called The Truth Denied, and it is a very detailed account from my perspective of the Sasquatch DNA study, how it got started, what happened, the results, how there was an effort behind the scenes from different groups to kind of do a like-minded conspiracy where you had a bunch of different people for different reasons that didn't want the study to be successful and the information to come out, and so they kind of, the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of situation. So they all work together, and then it seemed later that something was directing everything, and it became a very organized effort to destroy Dr. Ketchum personally, her reputation, and destroy the study. And so, this is the ins and outs of it. I'll have the link, but I've got everything in here. They even removed stuff from the Wayback Machine, which you're not supposed to be able to do, but they did. I had screenshots. I was smart enough to, to screenshot and get web pages. So what I ended up having to do is, there's a whole section of nothing but quotes from Facebook or quotes from web pages or articles. In other words, things that were no longer in existence out on the interweb there, on the internet, were taken down or defunct or whatever. And so I had to do the, I actually published them in the book so you can go read them. And so, so you got a very thick section that I had to kind of shrink down to get it all in here of information, and everything's got receipts. This is footnoted, and everything I talk about in here is my opinion based on the facts, and I lay out what happened and why I think it happened, and just the whole sordid mess. But I think it's a really good read. It'll open your eyes to what's going, the truth out there and what's going on about the people in this quote Sasquatch community. And so that's the Sasquatch, as they say, the shameless plug, Truth Denied, the Sasquatch DNA study. And then we get into the Dogman, and I have talked to Melba Ketchum. It's been a while, and I knew she had Dogman DNA. That she got one sample, I believe, during the DNA study for Sasquatch, and I believe it was from Mary Green, and that she set that aside because we were working on the Sasquatch genome project. Not the Dogman, and in my discussions with her, I know that she's had maybe two or three complete Dogman genomes. I'm not at liberty to say, I'm not under NDA, but what she told me was in confidence. All I can tell you is it's the DNA's is human mitochondrial, and it's canine and other things, and so hopefully they can get the funds to actually do the deep dive and the analysis on that. And as I've got on my screen, what I want to do is show some of the footage that I have of Dogmen. I have footage of three different types, all taken on the back trail. That's where I strap the camera on my shoulder, facing backwards, so I don't know what I'm filming until I get home and look at it. And this one right here was actually, this doesn't get much play, and it's actually a good one. The sun is extremely bright and shining behind me. This is 1080p, and this guy is standing in heavy brush. He's got some limbs and stuff across his face, but you can definitely see him here, and you can see his snout. He's more like a German Shepherd type, with the light colored, even white on a little bit of white patches on his snout. And he's at least, I'm 6'3", and I believe he's at least 7 foot here. And I'm going to play this, and this is I zoom in here, and then I stabilize it because I don't have a gimbal at this time. But you can, right there he is. As you can see, as it cycles through, and you can see his solid form back there behind these limbs in front. And then I just loop it a couple times there, and we'll let this play through. Like right there, you can see his snout. Let me play, and then I'm really bad. I've got a new camera, a new toy. It's actually a real 4K, and I had to do it on payments. I just couldn't afford to buy it straight up, to be honest. But you can see there. Let me do this now, and you can see right. If you'll watch, right there's his nose and his muzzle. And you can see as the camera refocuses there, it's autofocus. Right there's a real good shot right there. And the sun and everything. And let's see here. I gotta zoom. I think this is a little bit bigger. It's got the sound with it. There, there he is. That's not stabilized. You can see how jerky it was. There you go. He's right in there. Here's a couple still captures. Just for kicks and giggles. I'll pull them up here. So there's the one where you can see his muzzle, the white on both sides of the muzzle. And then the cheek. And then here's another one, different frame. The ears are definitely visible there. There's the muzzle. And then there's another one. See the nose, the muzzle there, and the ears. And this, you know, this stuff right here is actually in front of him. It's quite a bit in front of him, but of course, he's you know high, he's got it where it's blocking his eyes, of course. And then real quick, of course I should have this already ready to go, and I thought I did, but at least I have it in folders. And then this is the Got Teleco, the horse-headed one. And you know, I've heard Native Americans, you've heard other people talk about how it's very difficult to get a picture of Sasquatch or Dogman because they're blurry, even though everything around them is in focus. They themselves are blurry. And if you'll notice here, this Dogman is no exception. This is 4K. This is a 4K camera, and this is a still capture. It's the camera is tilted on my shoulder, and so it's not, you know, it's cockeyed, but still it's this is 4K, and you can see him here standing in the foliage. He's behind me. It's back trail again. There's one. There's another one. You can see that I'm moving, and that's a little bit better focused. He's still blurry. You can see, kind of see his eyes there. And I took this next one. I really cleaned it up. I mean, I worked hard on the filters and got those eyes cleaned up the best I could with contrasting and deblurring and adjusting the color, and got a decent picture there where you can really see the eyes and the nostrils. And this is like a horse-headed one, so that took a long time to just painstakingly clean that up. You know, the blurry and then, like I said, you know, running it through the filters to clean it up. It just takes a lot of time. And let's see here. Of course, here's the old standby. This is the Dogman that was behind me with the y'all. If you've been watching my channel, you've probably seen this to the blue in the face. There's the loops of him. He's got his head back, and that's him there, and that's the little imp on his shoulder, and he moves. This is a loop of him moving forward and pushing his snout through the foliage right there. This is 1080p. This, unfortunately, it's not 4K. This is zoomed in, so it's a little bit blurry. And I'll show you his nostrils. You can see him. His flat. He got the flat nose right there, and you'll be able to see him breathing here. And just I'll show you that real quick. But right there's a real good shot. That's his right nostril and his snout. That's his right eye. His left eye, and his head, his right ear, and then the little imp. And this is a different series of loops where he's bobbing his head back and forth, and I just loop that because he's trying to figure out what I'm getting ready to do, because I'm starting to twist my shoulders. And you can see him there, and he's breathing, his snout's opening up. And let's see here. This is the nose and the eye. Let's do the nose. So if you'll watch here, this is his snout, and this is his right nostril. And see it open? See that? He's breathing. See? Nostrils closed, nostrils open, nostrils closed, nostrils open. So here's the sequence. Frame 1, frame 2, frame 3. So 3 frames of him taking a breath. And then this is the whole series there. And the whole face. If you look back in here, you can see his eye too. There where the pointer is. But this time I got left. Trying to keep this down about 20 minutes. But you can see the nostril changing shape. It's totally closed there. And it opens. And it kind of half closes, back to close. This is just a loop right here. I just loop it there, you can see it breathing. If you look up here, if you really concentrate, you can see the eye. It's really creepy. It's a beady eye. It's a black beady eye with a white sclera. Not what you would think. Right there, if you look, there's the pupil and the sclera. And it's just creepy, creepy, creepy. So, you know, that's a horse head one, a German Shepherd looking one, and then the horse one had more of a horse head. And here's the creepy little imp on the shoulder. Or not on his shoulder, on the side of his head. See his mouth's open. Left and right nostril, his eyes. He has like Caucasian skin and silver hair stuff. That's all I know to call it. It's hair stuff. So he was really creepy. And let's see, did that one, that one, that one. This is the one that's the hardest one, because even though this is the one I made eye contact with and actually saw with my own two eyes, and I was trying to get a good, you know, zoom in and get a good picture of him. Here's a really good still capture. He's leaning back. He's got the tree like this, and he's leaning back over his shoulder, and it's really thick, and you know, it's just, he's looking around that tree at me. But you can see here. You know, he's more of the, you know, German Shepherd type. You can see down here's his muzzle. See his mouth right there. It's a little split. You know how the dog has the little thing here, and then his two nostrils, and then you can really see his right eye good right here. And then he's got, of course, he's got the patch of foliage right in front of his face, as they always do. And then you got his ears right here. And like I said, the footage is blurry and it's loud. It's during the cicada. And I've slowed it up. So this is me trying my best to get him focused. This is before we kind of made eye contact. This is before I kind of realized, oh crap, you know, let me turn that down. You know, before I realized, you know, what I was actually looking at. But, you know, I was trying to get it to focus, and it's tough. It's real thick in there. You can see its ears moving a little bit, but just pain in the fanny. And that's what it's like to try to take video in the thick woods. So that's it. Tried to keep it short. Talked about the Sasquatch genome study or DNA study, and hopefully soon they'll have the Dogman study out as far as what, you know, the DNA shows. And you've seen there's you know, there's definitely genetic diversity within that species, and so you know, I've got an example of, you know, two German Shepherd looking ones, and one that looks like it, you know, more of a horse head, thicker snout, and then the flathead variety. So, guys, just be careful out there, and just mine went blank. It's Wednesday, tired, mowed the yard, and got to get back to that kitchen here tomorrow night, but. Had it painted and and everything. The cabinet's painted, and I'm just about done, thank goodness. But anyway, I wanted to get to that, and I promise you, between now and Wednesday and the weekend, I'll have another episode of Sasquatch Awareness Project back to going over the subjects from the book. And I've been trying to do more interviews, trying to make myself more accessible, as I promised people I would, and trying to keep the content going, and answering questions. I've got emails stacking up again. People are fussing, like, Mr. Carpenter, blah, blah, blah. Anytime anybody calls me Mr. Carpenter, I know I'm in trouble. And I promise you, I'll get to you. I'll try to respond. Or if I don't respond directly back, I'll try to respond via video, which I think is the best way to do it, because I can address, 15, 20, or 30 people basically have the same concern. Then I can reply once and get everybody, instead of 30 replies. That just takes so much longer. So anyway, I'm going to sign off here and quit babbling. I hope that the 4K, this 4K camera, it's a Panasonic Lumix, and I went with it instead of the Sony Handycam. It had some advantages to it from the 4K. There were several advantages, and plus the price, and I could make payments. And but it's a tough camera. It's water resistant. It's dust resistant. It's a good field camera. It's one I like I said, I can still capture or jump right over into 4K, and hopefully give you a better production. We'll see. The proof will be in the pudding. So with that, everybody take care. Have a good rest of the week. God bless, and we'll talk to you soon.